black PR, Mike, only begins when the black propagandist finishes communicating it. In time, it does not end. You never believed the black PR you spread and made others spread. You have, quote, confessed that doing the evil you did was your conspiracy's policy, executing the conspiracy's policy, which was, where it mattered, secret and hidden from Scientologists outside the conspiracy, had always been the policy. That has always been the case and has been known publicly to be the case at least since I left Scientology and spoke up and exposed what I experienced or knew of the cult's hidden, criminal, and actual policies. Undoubtedly, there were ex-staff before me who told what they understood about your conspiracy's actual policies. Michael Meisner comes to mind. Many of your actual operating policies violated what your conspiracy ordered publicly published as Scientology policy, as the scriptural organizational, quote, law on which orders are authorized and originated, end quote. Your orders from your sect's heads to silence or destroy people, and your orders to your juniors or hired agents to silence or destroy people were all authorized and originated in compliance with your actual secret and criminal policies. You kept your actual operating policies secret just because they are criminal. The persons operating on these criminal policies comprise your criminal conspiracy. Your actual policy has always included pretending or acting as if you believed your lies and black PR. A few months ago, in response to an Alan Stanfield article, I wrote about the endlessness of black propaganda and the permanence of the black propagandist identity. This is a quote. This is me to Alonzo. Mark Rathbun and Mike Rinder have not corrected their lies and black propaganda. Because of black PR's nature, they remain black propagandists for the Miscavige conspiracy. I have noted this in a number of published communications. Black PR does not end when the black propagandist stops talking or hits send. It goes on, theoretically, forever. What black propagandists like Rathbun and Rinder must do is denounce and correct or remedy their black PR. Then they become repentant black propagandists. Right now, they remain unrepentant black propagandists. They spread years and reams of black PR in service of Hubbard, Miscavige, and Scientology, in service of their criminal conspiracy. Being a black propagandist is comparable to being a murderer. When a murderer stops murdering, he or she remains a murderer. There is no such thing as an ex-murderer. There can be an ex-hitman if he leaves the hitman trade, but he's still a murderer. He can be a repentant murderer or an unrepentant murderer. Repentance is fairly straightforward. Wikipedia says, quote, this typically includes an admission of guilt, a promise or resolve not to repeat the offense, an attempt to make restitution for the wrong or in some way to reverse the harmful effects of the wrong where possible. Rathbun and Rinder have taken none of the actions indicating or involved in repentance concerning the black propaganda they originated, disseminated, and made others disseminate to destroy the reputations, credibility, livingness, quote, ARC, or quote, theta of their black PR targets like me. Rathbun and Rinder remain unrepentant black propagandists, and their black PR serves the same malevolent interests they started serving decades ago. It would be beneficial for everyone if they were to become repentant black propagandists. By not correcting their black PR while pretending they have made amends and corrected the wrongs they perpetrated, they now attempt to generate an illusion that their lies were not lies and their black PR was not black PR and their most fair game victim deserved it. What I deserved, they communicate, is an illegal, conscienceless, filthy rich, criminal conspiracy depriving me of my rights and even my person. If I didn't deserve their victimization, it would reason, now that they present themselves as truth tellers, as whistleblowers, as understanding, compassionate, courageous, and capable, they would have said my victimization was undeserved, and they would have acted to undo the undeserved victimization. Beyond argument, they both know, but will not admit, that what they did and made others do to silence or destroy me was undeserved. It was undeserved by common human, social, and legal standards, by the Scientologists' own published public scriptures, and by God. After leaving the Sea Org, Rathbun and Rinder did not just step away from the black PR they had propagated for their conspiracy and leave their black PR to continue to work its evil. They have actively originated and disseminated more black propaganda targeting me since claiming post-Sea Org to be telling the truth. They have actively continued criminal frame-ups they know are criminal frame-ups. They have continued to apply the same PR tech they learned from Hubbard and applied all their years in the SO. There has been no moral U-turn. End quote. That's the end of that section of my article to Alonzo. This is back to you, Mike. I've written and spoken several times about a 1994 face-to-face confrontation you and I had, in which you threatened that until I shut up, meaning until I stopped telling the truth, you and your co-conspirators were going to keep on black PRing me, meaning you were going to keep on lying about me, vilifying me, and destroying my credibility, relationships, opportunities, and life. I even mentioned this incident in a letter to you soon after you started claiming and pretending you were no longer serving your conspiracy's purposes. This is a quote from that letter. I wanted to communicate civilly because it is important to me that something be done about the Scientology versus Armstrong et al. War. Lies maintain the war. You remember, I'm sure, when I spoke to you about your black PR, saying to me that you, meaning you, Miscavige, Scientology, the attorneys, the PIs, et al., were going to keep right on black PRing me until I shut up. Your statement has stuck with me all these years because it was so brazenly threatening. In fact, it was blackmail, a threat to my person to defame me and destroy my reputation and life unless I complied with your demand here that I stop telling the truth. Obviously, I have not stopped telling the truth, and true to your threat, you kept right on black PRing me. Because you remain an unrepentant black propagandist for your Scientology conspiracy, and because your black PR is intended to shudder me into silence or destroy me, you also remain a blackmailer, indeed an unrepentant blackmailer. What greater motivation for repentance? In your Merchants of Fear special episode from the Scientology and the Aftermath reality show, Len Zinberg pinpointed why, for 35 years, even after leaving Scientology, he did not speak up about his fair gaming of Paulette Cooper. Cowardice. He's right, of course. It's a why, an item I urge you to take to heart. If it is why you do not now tell the truth about the criminal and cruel things you did while admittedly in your conspiracy, it could also be why you stayed in Scientology doing all those criminal and cruel things for over 20 years, and why in all that time you never told your seniors and your other co-conspirators to stick it in their ears. Wikipedia has a useful definition for cowardice. Quote, a trait wherein fear and excessive self-concern override doing or saying what is right, good, and of help to others or oneself in a time of need. It is the opposite of courage. As a label, cowardice indicates a failure of character in the face of a challenge. One who succumbs to cowardice is known as a coward, or informally, a chicken. Zinberg said, quote, I had left Scientology. I was under the radar. I had put Scientology out of my life, but there's no way for me to escape that was what happened. And I emailed Paulette, and I told her what I had done. I said something along the lines of, I'm a 67-year-old man, and I have 2 children, and I want your forgiveness. But I realize that I'm totally undeserving of it, because I've been a coward for the last 35 years. I haven't spoken the truth. I haven't told you what I did, end quote.